Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. OMG, what a good day. What a good time to be an early adopter in this digital asset space. I gotta tell you, that's pretty cool. What is this here? Don't know why that is doing that, but we shall soon see. A great time to be in the digital asset space. I got to tell you, market's kind of doing a little bit of retracing, a little retracement, right? That's cool. It's all good. That makes perfectly great sense. I'm going to share a bunch of stuff from Twitter today. I got to tell you some really, really interesting comments that I hope that it will give you guys some time to kind of think about some different things. I'm going to share first something from Ripple. That was shared from the big time community member, James Rule, XRP. That guy is just doing his thing, is he not? Big time. Appreciate you, brother. So I'm going to share this article because I think it's important, just right up from Ripple, just kind of understand to get the bigger picture of how strategic Ripple really is in every single thing that they do. And I'm also going to share a little bit about RipPay. I don't know if the community just kind of missed it or thought it was not such a big deal. I don't know. But for me, RipPay is massive. Being able to send payments via, messaging is cool. Twitter payments via, so we're talking Twitter, WhatsApp, we're talking Discord, we're talking Telegram. You're talking, if you have any of these accounts via a message, it's like it's a message, the same way that you would text a message. You can send payments. It's pretty big. And RipPay does that. And I think it's 2 billion people now will have access to this, be able to use this. That's pretty massive. And so James Rule here tweeted out, well, let me first say this. This is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. All right, guys, let's do this. So distributed ledger technology will have an incredible impact on financial services and engender greater financial inclusion and therefore economic growth, especially in emerging targets. And so this is as on campus with Adrian A. Harris, professor of practice, Ford School of Public Policy at the University of Michigan. Let's go over this article. Again, strategic, right? I mean, this initiative that Ripple started, with major universities to introduce, educate on blockchain, introduce, educate on XRP and the XRP ledger. Again, it's genius. It's genius in motion. So let's go over this article real quick. How does the DLT engender greater financial inclusion? Distributed ledger technology, there she is there. Distributed ledger technology will have an incredible impact on financial services and engender greater financial inclusion and therefore economic growth, especially in emerging economies. That's the opinion of Adrian Harris, whose interest in the world of blockchain and digital assets began during her time as senior advisor in the U.S. Department of the Treasury and as a special assistant to the president in the White House during the Obama administration. Today, she sees the United States government sending checks by mail to stimulate the economy during the beer cold crisis as the latest example of how technology could be used to enhance our current financial system. It highlights how arcane our financial infrastructure is, says Adrian. Today's experience presents a unique opportunity, especially in the US, to prompt a discussion around financial infrastructure. And of course, DLT could be a huge part of that. According to a Ripple report, one of the major problems for distributed ledger technology is that regulators have been slow to examine and improve new services and technologies that could have helped consumers during the current crisis. Indeed. So in Adrian's experience, most DLT businesses want transparent regulation, as it would help provide much needed clarity around the entire industry. Fintech businesses are hungry for clarity, she explains. It doesn't mean they want overly burdensome regulation. but they do want to understand the rules of the road. My advice to policymakers, finance incumbents, and startups and innovators is just engagement. There are still these geographic and cultural divides that I think more engagement would help break down. Engagements like, for example, the town hall, the recent town hall meeting put together by Representative Tom Emmers, where Brad Garlinghouse was in attendance, along with some people from Jeremy Allaire from Circle, right? Great town hall meeting, really, really good. So when she headed a DLT and a fintech task force for the White House, okay, so I was during the Obama administration, right? That's when she was at the White House. So when she headed a DLT and fintech task forces for the White House, Adrian believed that the government could help fintech innovators by providing clear regulation and engagement, much like how the Clinton administration engaged with the burgeoning internet industry during the 1990s. She continues to nurture that spirit of interdisciplinary engagement in her current role as professor of practice at the University of Michigan, with the help of Ripple's University Blockchain Research Initiative, UBRI. You see what I'm saying? You see the strategic moves that your company, the company behind that your asset, the digital asset XRP. You see the moves? We've got business school people, policy school people, engineering school people, all engaged in different projects related to UBRI, University Blockchain Research Initiative, put together, right, by Ripple. She notes. It is really important from the standpoint of both education and real world problem solving to have those different lenses come to bear on hard problems, right? And so I just want you to, let me read this. Discover how UBRI supports and accelerates academic research, technical development, and innovation in blockchain, cryptocurrency, and digital payments at leading universities around the world at ubri.ripple.com. You see how Ripple, how strategic they are, universities, working with the regulators, right? Attending, right? Putting on different events, showcasing the different use cases. All of these different things make it very, in my opinion, make it very, very easy for Ripple, Chris Larsen, Brad Garlinghouse to be ushered up to the front of the room. Do you see what I'm saying? By whatever organization or entity it might be, it makes it very, very easy for them to be ushered up to the front of the room, to take the podium, right? And the people introducing Chris and Brad, right, will be able to say they're doing this and they're doing that and they're doing this and they've been doing this and they did that, and a laundry list. One of the more significant laundry things on that list will be, in my humble opinion, that XRP is not a central bank digital currency, but it acts as, it complements the central bank digital currency. It does not look to replace it, because put this in the books, the central bank digital currency thing is a real possibility, and they don't want something looking to replace or displace their central bank digital service. They want something that's going to help it work and perform better. You see what I'm saying? All the things that Ripple do are very, very strategic. And whether it be the current administration, whether it be Minshew, okay, whether it be someone from the WEF, someone from the IMF, okay, who just was singing the praises of Ripple, whoever it is going to usher Chris Larsen and Brad Garlinghouse up to the front of the room, if you will. We'll have a laundry list of things to tout and praise. And so when it comes time, to talk about its technology, how it's going to be implemented in a significant way, it's going to happen. What I'm saying to you is the people that will usher them to the front of the room will have a laundry list of and be able to praise Ripple scream their name from the rooftops. And it'll make sense to the media. It'll make sense to the masses when they hear from the media. You see what I'm saying? Very, very strategic in what they do. Absolutely love it. And so let me see if I can find the article from Emi Yoshitaka Katao that I think is important. Here it is right here. So this is from Michael at Val 5 Links, an OG in the XRP community, a guy that continues to add value every single day and to the community. And we appreciate that big time, brother. This is a great tweet here. And I think it's important, again, working with and not against. So during an interview with FX Coin, a Japanese exchange, Ripple's head of global operations, Emi Yoshikawa, said that XRP complements CBDCs and stable coins instead of competing with them. Guys, I gotta tell you, it's so very, very, very important. And I just think that I always reference the book, The Blue Ocean Strategy, because it's in essence, you know, one of the things that it talks about is instead of going into a space and dominating and literally taking the competition and putting them underneath your foot, what you look to do is complement, right? Let's work together and complement the thing that you're doing, looking to do, or are already doing. That is a blue ocean strategy. That's one example of a blue ocean strategy, and that is what Ripple is doing. I think it's hugely important to note that. Hugely important. So I'm not going to go over this article, but again, this is something. Well, let me see something here that she talked about, and I think it's important. You know, talking about it in the Japanese market is huge as well, right? Because we all know that Asia leads the market when it comes to the bull runs. Okay, let me say here. All right, so the advent of stablecoins and central bank digital currencies has pretty much put Ripple's XRP in a compromising position, especially given that they do almost exactly what XRP does when utilizing cross-border payments. Not true. For some time, a lot of people have the impression that XRP is in serious competition with stablecoins and CBDCs in a race to topple traditional systems and claim a big market share. However, a recent statement by one of Ripple's top executives indicates otherwise. During an interview with FX Coin, a Japanese exchange, Ripple's head of global operations, Emi Yoshikawa, said that the XRP complements CBDCs and stablecoins instead of competing with that. XRP is a bridging asset. Going on, Emi posited that instead of putting up a fight against the two mentioned assets, XRP can serve as a bridging asset to their collective effort to improve liquidity in international payments settlements. In the end, that's what it ultimately is about. And that is always going to be Ripple's strategy. And I think it's absolutely genius that they took that approach because, I mean, why, you know, what it does is it makes you more embracing to the masses, right? And a lot of people love Amazon, right? A lot of people love Amazon, but you know there's a lot of people who are not big fans. Why? Because they went in and dominated and put a lot of people under their foot along the way. It's, you know, it's very, very important. So the who, what, and why of digital currency investing from Grayscale. Again, I don't think this is the same webinar that we covered before, but I do think it's hugely important to understand that Grayscale is looking to do things and educate the masses in a big way around digital assets. Yeah, this is the same for financial advisors, right? It's hugely important to understand that this is what they're doing. Take a listen to what Warren Buffett says, and I just wanted to think about this again. Shout out to the Oracle for sharing this with the community. Appreciate that, brother. He also had a very, very kind tweet where he mentioned me and David Schwartz and Brad Garlinghouse in the same tweet. So I thought that was pretty, and Kevin Cage as well, that dude, Kevin Gage, right? As well. So I appreciate that, the Oracle. I appreciate that big time. So it says here, Warren Buffett, the worth of the US dollar has declined by 94%. He also said inflation is a cruel tax imposed on the people. Hear it for yourself. And he tagged me and Kevin Cage in here and the digital asset investor in here. So just take a listen to this. I thought this was pretty interesting stuff. Check the crowd.
Since I was born has declined. Inflation, Keynes said it many years ago that it's an invisible tax that only one man in a million really understands. And it's a tax on people that have had faith in their currency that the government's issued. It's interesting in the United States.
Oh my God!
The value of the dollar since I was born has declined by 94% to 6 cents. So inflation is a very cruel tax on people who believe in fixed dollars. But inflation, Keynes said it many years ago. That
I apologize there for the pausing in the video there, but think about the Keynes. She's going back to John Maynard Keynes, right, and talking about that, the invisible tax that it used to be called. It used to be called the invisible tax, inflation. But 94%. And think about, you saw the crowd. They look how long ago that was. Think about this, the dollar today. You think it's gone in gain value? I think not, right? And so it's so important. A lot of people feel like they can't constantly get ahead. They can't constantly move forward because they forget about that. Inflation is the hidden tax, right? And so you have to have something in place that is adjusting and moving forward and increasing that compensates for inflation. The challenge is the vast majority of people's income or jobs, which is their main source of income, does not count for that. That's the biggest problem. It doesn't account for that inflation, right? And so you have to have a substantial amount of income coming in to adjust for that. Substantial. And I've always said, I don't know, it's 10 years ago, I've always said that $250,000 to $300,000 a year is a spot where you can begin to do that. Other than that, I don't think it's possible. And so, that's why we always talk about cash flow business, because I think it's important to have another source of income coming in to help complement and what is the word I want to say? Counteract, if you will, inflation, right? So, and that's from Warren Buffett himself. Strong words, right? Huge words. Listen, I tweeted this because, I've been, looking into this project for a while. I think it's interesting. But here's something I said. That's an interesting lineup. Congrats to Benjamin Minshew, who's the CEO and founder of Elron. I love what you're doing with the EGLT. Now look at this. I'm excited to have the opportunity to be the blockchain torchbearer at brand_minds. We'll speak about blockchain as a new economic era and an event with more than 15,000 business people from around the world. And I just think that's a pretty interesting lineup. And I think it's interesting that they chose this new CEO coming into the space, if you will, to kind of represent that blockchain as a new economic era. He's got Gary Vaynerchuk on here. He's got Simon Sinek. He's got Brene Brown, author of some really great books, right? Austin Channing Brown here, and interesting people as to be invited to speak with these guys. I think is magnificent. So I gave him a shout out. I am a fan of that project. So I do find it to be very interesting. That they chose that dude to do that. So shout out to you, Benjamin. Good for you. Now listen, this is something I think it's important. I'm going to end this video with this because I just think it's important with this video, but let me share this real quick. Just a couple of tweaks for you guys to just think about some stuff. Shout out to Justin Bennett. He's been doing some interesting in some Very interesting tweets of late. I think very real value add. Don't fall victim to shiny object syndrome. Liquidating a coin that's consolidating so you can chase a 20% intraday move elsewhere isn't wise. This is his opinion, right? So that's especially true if the coin you're chasing has underperformed the one you're liquidating. I read, so right, and I said agree here. I tweeted with him. So here's an interesting thing to point out as well. What a breakout! Icon is up 30% today. If you're new, one thing you have to understand. Kyle McLean, he has some very pointed tweets as of late as well. One thing you have to understand: Cardano, Icon, VeChain, and XRP led the last bull run, and can do so again. They fell so far, but they kept developing. That a small all-time high multiple is a far better return on your investment than some turd, maybe 50xing. Yeah, yes. Now let's share David's tweet video with you guys. I think I'm gonna do that standard charter next time. Let's take a listen to this. Hopefully it'll play without pausing.
Payments is XRP, so I want to talk a little bit about what XRP is. Not all digital assets are the same. Digital assets have differences in technology, differences in use case, and so on. And I think the focus should be on the use case. The crypto markets tend to show tokens rising or falling as a unit. There doesn't seem to be that much distinguishing in the price. But I think in terms of the long-term success.
All right, I can't play it. I can't do that to you guys. It's just not working out well. It might be because I have 500 tabs open. It's just not the biggest of computers. All right, and so maybe that's the case. So let me share some stuff from Standard Charter. So anyway, this is CNBC.com, and I think the Oracle, this might have been the thing that the Oracle had mentioned me in a tweet. In a world where central bank issue digital currencies, Bitcoin and Libra may have a place. This is from CNBC.com. Okay, I didn't go over the article, but I think that's interesting to note. I want to find the Standard Chartered one. This is from Standard Charter. They're responding to the CNBC article. It says, Standard Charter, we all know Standard Charter and Ripple, right? Digital assets, including crypto assets, are here to stay. The new asset class, that's what we've been saying on this channel from day one. The new asset class is transforming the financial services industry, especially in the way transactions and settlements are done. This is from Standard Charter in this response to, they retweeted this article from CNBC. So guys, again, I hope for you, this is a head up and shoulders back moment for you in your life. Why? Because you're an early adopter in a new asset class. You and I, my friends, we are playing a game that 99.99% of the masses don't even know is being played. And we're winning. We're winning, guys. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.